Weekly, GarageBand, GarageBand Weekly, GarageBand Weekly. Need an answer to your question. John, you'll have a suggestion. He's a fountain of all knowledge. I think he might have gone to GarageBand College. What he doesn't know, we'll try and find out. So join the chat and give him a shout. Here's John. Here's John. GarageBand Weekly.
Another week. I didn't turn my mic on. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to GarageBand Weekly for another week. What a fantastic start. Definitely listen to everything this guy has to say, or mime, as the case may be. I hope you're doing well. On this week's show, we got some pretty fun stuff for you. I'm going to show you how to collaborate in GarageBand on your iPad or your iPhone, how we can bring in some files that someone else, another wonderful creator, has sent me, and then work on a track, collaborate on a track with somebody else. So I hope you're ready for that one. We've got some news and notes to talk to start with, and if you are here live, feel free to ask any questions. If you've got questions, we got answers, or at least I'll definitely try to answer your questions. Just put a big Q in front of your question, just like that, and I'll be happy to try and answer any questions you got. Don't forget, there's a one-stop shop, studiolivetoday.com/GarageBand. That's your one-stop shop for all things GarageBand. You got my FAQ there. You got links to all the series, including the 5-minute tip series that we're right in the middle of here. We've covered all your drums. We've covered a lot of keyboards and instruments. We're about to get to the fun stuff, things like guitars and recording vocals and recording other audio sources and mixing and mastering and effects and automation and EQ. My goodness, who'd do this stuff? Who'd get into this home recording caper? There's a lot to learn, isn't there? A heap coming up for you. Let's dive into the news and notes of the week, though. And the biggest news, GarageBand side, is that we got a new sound pack, if you can believe it. Yeah, it's new sound pack week. There I am on my latest video showing the new sound pack there. It's in the sound library. You got it on all your different devices. It's in Logic Pro as well as in GarageBand on your iPad and your iPhone. It's called Hardwell because that's the name of the producer. Had I heard of Hardwell before I opened this pack? No, not necessarily, but that doesn't mean he's not awesome. And it's actually a pretty good pack. It's got lots of great EDM sounds in there for you to check out and to play around with in your GarageBand and Logic Pro iPad projects. So if you missed the video, it's linked in the description. You can catch that one and learn about what's in this brand new pack. It's a bit of fun. The next bit of news and notes we got is iOS 17.4.1 has just been released. I haven't quite updated yet because it literally came out hours ago, so I'll be grabbing my phones and tablets and updating it. I'm already on 17.4. Many folks have updated to 17.4 already and are already having no problems. So let's do our normal warning, which is that if you're right in the middle of a big project, say you're collaborating with someone on something and you're right in the middle of that project, now is not the time to update. You might want to just hit the pause button and wait a little while and then update once you've completed that. There are some security updates in this one though, so if you are really conscious of security and want to make sure you're not going to get yourself hacked, then you can update to 17.4.1, and as usual, Apple have got information over on their website. That doesn't mean a whole lot to me because I don't really understand. I'm not a security guy. I just try to stay secure as I can in this world of ours. Did you hear about the Elvis Act? So the AI infiltration of musicians is in full swing, and the Elvis Act, not app, Act aims to protect musicians as states move to rein in AI. So in Tennessee, they've already passed this, and in Georgia and California, they're working on it. So what is this all about? Well, this is exactly what the actors have been doing and been threatening to do, which is basically go after AI, deep fakes and AI versions of themselves and all that kind of caper, except for musicians. So this is saying that we don't want that cool version of the Barbie Girl song sung by Johnny Cash. We don't want people to have fun with this stuff. We want to stop it and ban it and stop it in its tracks. So what do you think about that? Do you think that we need to legislate against AI, these AI fakes of artists where they're creating new Drake songs by just cloning Drake's voice and putting a beat behind it? Or is it just freedom? Like, is it, well, and just because it's creepy, does that mean it should be illegal? I don't know. There's a lot of nuances to this whole AI stuff because I'm in the middle. I know it's weird. I'm a fence sitter. Who would have thunk it? But I sit in the middle where I'm like, AI is a cool thing, but it's not new. We're harnessing it in new and different ways now, and the technology is definitely improving. Should we ban it outright? Is that ever really the answer? TikTok is bad because it's Chinese. Let's ban it. AI is bad because people might have themselves faked, have deep fakes of themselves saying things. So ban it. I don't know. I just think that banning things, like most things in life, just sort of pushes it further underground. And if it's out there hiding in plain sight and everyone has access to it, I think we're actually going to be okay, folks. I don't think it's the Terminator 2 Judgment Day happening here. As Psycho 7 says, basically another form of identity theft. Yeah, but again, the bad guys are going to do it anyway. Like, you ban it, you make it illegal. All you really do is push it underground. Don't we want to have access to it? Do we want to have visibility of it? Like, the more this is happening and the more education that there is out there, then the more we know about it. Or do you think, hey, if someone comes out and they put out a song and they call it me and I get nothing for it and they're stealing my royalties? Maybe. I don't know. It's a tough one. All right. So that is our news and notes for the week. We'll say good day to the folks who are here live, and then we're going to dive head first into this week's show. Hello to Scott Kid 64 Ultimate. Hello, Mark. Bro, every time I see Scott Kid 64 Ultimate, I think of the Nintendo 64. And to a lesser extent, the Commodore 64. Hello, Mark Bro. G'day, Thomas J. Music. We've got John Swanson here. Hello to you. Psycho 7, g'day. Darren Anderson, g'day to you as well. And again, if anyone does have any questions or needs advice or has feedback, it's weird. I get more questions when I do Your Music Live, which is not a Q&A show, than I ever do on this show, which is a Q&A show. So it's always funny when I'm playing people's music and someone comes in and like, what audio interface should I buy? And I'm like, I'd love to help you with that. Come to, one of the shows where I actually answer questions. But no, it's all good. Usually you find folks in the chat will help people out when they have questions, even if it's not a Q&A show. G'day, Al Davis. I hope you're well as well. All right. So what are we doing? What's this collaboration thing all about? And what are we going to be up to in this week's show? Well, a while ago, a wonderful producer and creator by the name of David Asher, who many of you know, some of you have even worked with, he reached out on one of the many forums we're on. I think it might have been Create, Record, Release or the GarageBand Users Forum, one of the forums. And he says to all of us, he says, hey, would anyone like to collaborate? I've got a bunch of songs, this whole pile of instrumentals, and I'm just not going to get around to fully producing all of them. So does anyone want to take a listen to some of these? And if something takes your fancy, maybe you want to work on something. And I said, you know what? I don't normally have the time for this, but yeah, I'm going to give it a crack. So I said to David, yep, send them on through. And he said about 10 different ones. And I was listening. I was out walking, as I'm known to do. And I was listening to all of these tracks. And there was one that like really sort of hit me. Like, I had a wonderful chord progression, some really cool synth sounds in there. And it really spoke to me. And it was called Crow's Whisper, which here in Australia and in South Australia in particular, our state football team, the Adelaide Crows, is our AFL team. The crow is like basically the unofficial like state bird. We're called the crow eaters down here in South Australia. So I thought, yeah, let's give this a crack and let's do this. So I get back to David, love Crow's Whisper, and he's like, here's the stems. I'll send them through to you. And just today, I've opened those up. I did a quick test run, and right here, right now on this week's show, I'm going to start working on this one. So here is the details, and here is the file. So what I'm going to do is click on this one and open it up here. I'm going to open it in Google Drive. So here's the first sort of thing that you need to know is that when you get sent files, you need to save them somewhere. So we need to save these somewhere on my iPad so that we can use these. So I'm going to hit the Google Drive. We're then going to save these by tapping up the top here and hitting download. It's going to export them from Google Drive and download this zip file. So David has put together these files in a zip archive, which is the way to do it when you're sharing music. And we will open these up, we'll unzip them, we'll throw them in GarageBand, and then we'll have a play. We'll start collaborating. How fun is this? All right, so that's all cool. We're going to save to files. Now what I'm going to do is I've got an in progress. I'm going to create a new folder here in my in progress folder. So we're here in iCloud Drive. and I'm going to go to the GarageBand for iOS folder and in progress because I'm going to start working on this track. I'm going to make a new folder here and I'm going to call it, not surprisingly, Crow's Whisper, which is the name of the track. Folder is empty, but we're going to save it on in there, and there you go, that's saved. So now we need to jump over to our Files app. So if you haven't played around with Files in iOS or iPad or iPhone, the Files app, you can actually download it. It should be on your device by default, but if it's not, you just go to your App Store and type Files and download the Files app. And this gives you access to all the files stored on both your iPad, but also in your iCloud Drive. We've talked about it before, I won't harp on in this video, but iCloud Drive is where you want to save all your stuff, yeah? So we're going to go into the iCloud Drive, we're going to go into GarageBand for iOS, into that in progress folder here, and there's Crow's Whisper. Now we can just tap on it, because in order to uncompress something here in iOS, all you need to do is tap on it, and it'll automatically create a folder and dump all of those files into that folder. So check this out. Here's all those stems. So David is a professional. He's done a great job here. He's stemmed these out as the orchestra, violin, bass, synth A and synth B, a piano, the gong, which sounds intriguing, and drums. So we have all of these stemmed out here, ready for us to use and to throw into a project. And then we can start adding things to it. I can start doing vocals. I could add a guitar if I wanted to. We can play around with it. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Now, there's two ways to go about this. We can import these into GarageBand iOS's folder one by one by going into GarageBand and importing them. Or the way that I would suggest, the way that I recommend getting this done is to actually hit the select button up here and select all. And then we're going to copy them. So down the bottom here, we're going to tap here where it says more, and we're going to tap copy 8 items. And then with GarageBand on iOS, if you go to the on my iPad or on my iPhone location, go to GarageBand for iOS, this folder here called GarageBand File Transfer, this is where you want to paste these in. So we're going to open that, we're going to tap here, tap and hold, and hit paste. And that's going to throw these directly into here. There they all are, ready to rock and roll. And we can now bring these into our project. So we've got those saved. We're ready to rock and roll. So let's go back and jump into GarageBand and set up a new project. So again, we're going to go into that same folder, that Crow's Whisper folder where all our stems are, and we're going to create a song. And this is why I love having a folder for a song. This way that our GarageBand project and all of these stems and anything else that I want related to this can all sit in this folder and be easily accessed at any time. So we'll jump in here, we'll hit Create Song, and we'll go over to the audio recorder because we don't actually need to record anything, but we want to bring in these loops. So the way to do this is up the top there, you can see how it's got like a little 8, little blue 8. That means that there's new files here ready to come in. So we tap on that little loop icon, but instead of being here in Apple Loops, which it'll default to, you tap on Files. And look at this, here's all those files. Now, if I didn't move them to the GarageBand File Transfer folder, all I'd need to do is go Browse and go and find them. So go in here and go to that original location and find them and import them into the GarageBand File Transfer folder. But because I've got a copy of them already here, they're ready to go. Now, before we bring these in, this is important stuff. We need to set up our project to accept these files correctly. There's a couple of things I want to do with this. The first is we need to make sure that we have enough space, enough room in this project. And if you've used GarageBand before, you know it defaults to 8 bars. So there's something we need to do here. We need to tap the plus button there and make sure we either just add in a bunch of bars, plenty for this project, or the easier way is to tap automatic. Now, the first file we bring in here will automatically size the correct length for these files we're bringing in, which makes it extra handy. Now, we need to make sure that our tempo is correct. So I happen to know that this one is at 120 BPM. Really important when you collaborate. It's like the #1 rule. Make sure everyone knows the project tempo. And if it's multiple tempos, that does make things a little more challenging. But make sure you know your tempo and dial it in here. So it's 120 BPM, ready to go. And if I wanted to, what I could do, I think, from memory, I think this track is in C minor. Or it might be in the relative major of that, which is what? sharp major or something. I don't know. I'm not a music theory guy, but I'll put it into C minor for now because I know it at least starts on a C minor chord. So we'll go with that for now. But that's not really important unless you're using virtual instruments and you want to use things like your autoplay or your chords mode or things like that. Let's now bring these in. We're going to hit on the loop icon there, and all we need to do is drag them in. Now, unfortunately, unlike Logic Pro for iPad, where you can bring in multiple items at once, we can only do these one at a time. So I'm going to bring them in the sort of order that I generally set up a project, which is to put my drums up the top. So we're going to drag in the drums first. And now, it looks like it's only 8 bars there, yeah? But look, when we zoom, grab 2 fingers and zoom it on in, look at this. We've got the whole kit and caboodle. So there's our entire drum track ready to go. Let's go to the loops again. We're going to grab our bass stems, throw that underneath, and it's a pretty simple and easy process. Even though you have to do it one by one, you only have to do it once. So we've got drums and bass. Let's just do the rest of these in order so I don't confuse myself. We can reorder them later. We've got our gong there. We've got our orchestra stem here. And here's the cool thing. I actually don't even know what David used to create these, but it actually doesn't matter because he's exported them as WAV files, which means that we can just import them into here. I could import these into Logic Pro. I could import these into Auria. I could import these into Cubases. I could import these into Pro Tools on a Mac or a PC. It doesn't matter because you've got the complete flexibility to import them into anywhere. If you're using a default WAV or WAV file, then you'll be good to go. So let's bring this final one in. We'll hit the track view button to make sure we should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We've missed one. Well done, Johns. You have one job. So what have we got? We've got drums, bass, gong, orchestra, piano, synth A, synth B. So what have we missed out of these? Violin. Can't go without a violin, can we? All right. So we've got our 8 different tracks here. We're ready to go. Should we take a quick listen to this? Yeah, let's see what David has actually produced here. So we'll leave the metronome on to start with, just to make sure that we have we'll have it in the right tempo. So we'll hit play. Here it comes. All right, we're definitely sounding good, so we can turn off that metronome. Really cool, right? Love it. So I'll just jump forward here so you can sort of hear like further in what the arrangement sounds like. So really cool, right? And yeah, we'll need to mix these because we can change the This is why it's good to have stems. We can change these volumes around. We can use automation. We can add effects. We can do all the things that we want to this track now that we have it in here. But what are we going to do before we start playing around with it at all? We're going to save it, yeah? So we're going to delete actually that first track. So we've got our 8 tracks in here. We've imported these stems successfully. We're ready to start sculpting this song and adding some stuff to it. But we want to save. So just hit the top left button there. It's going to save out. It's going to call it My Song, but we can rename this one. So we can call this one, tap on rename, and we'll call it, I'm just going to call it Pete, I'll put David first. David, Pete, collab. Enter. And, files, well, allow paste. I don't know why it's wanting to paste things. It already pasted them. You did that already. GarageBand. All right, so that's saved, and we will jump back into it again now. And very cool, right? Here is something that I like to do at this point. See how these are all called audio recorder, and they all have a microphone. So this is not essential. But if you're doing a longer project and you're collaborating with someone, you might want to use this as a way to make sure that it all looks good. So we've got our drum stem up here. We can actually rename this, and we're just going to do this. It's only 8 tracks, so it won't take us long. We're going to rename this to drums, and we're going to do this for each of these tracks. We're going to grab this one just to make sure that it's really clear what each track is, and then we're going to add some cool icons to make it look good. Because even though, look, you know, music is all about the sound, you still kind of want it to look good at the same time, don't you? You want it to be easy, user-friendly, easy to know what's where. So we can go gong, exactly. As Mark says, tidy things up. It will be a blessing blessing in the long run. Yeah, put in a little effort. Like I tell my children, if they just tidied their room once a day, they would never have the big effort that they have at the end of the week, or let's be honest, sometimes month. 3 months. So yeah, just do a little bit when you're starting here, because this will take you all of 5 minutes to do, just to get your track names and your track icons, and it will save you so much more than 5 minutes of time trying to work out which one's which. You're peering into it, you're trying to find it. Yeah. And look, would it be great if GarageBand auto-named these based on the file names for the tracks? Sure. And some do. So some DAWs do this a little better. GarageBand's a little more on the manual side, so it takes you a little bit more effort to do this. But like I say, it's worth it in the end. Let's set violin. All right, so there is our 8 items. We can now change the icons by tapping and going to the icon button. And let's just do this. So we've got some drums, so we'll change it to the red drums because they go faster. We've got our bass. We can tap on that one. Go to icons and find a bass. We'll go with that bass looks cool. We've got our gong. Do we have a gong icon? I've never had a gong in one before. Percussion. Do we have a big gong? Does anyone see a gong that I can't see? I'm just going to use this one for now. I'll know what that is. the big symbols there. Orchestra, so we should just be able to have like some strings looking things here. There you go. We'll do that one. That looks like some orchestra stuff. We'll go our piano. That's going to be an easy one because we've got plenty of piano keyboards. There we'll go the nice upright piano. And synth sounds. We use 2 different sort of keyboard synth sound looking things here. What have we got? What have we got that looks kind of synthy? We'll go that one. And we'll go the other synthy looking set one. We'll go that one. There's our synthesizers. And finally, our plain violin. So we can just use a single little violin and use that. So there you go. That is looking much, much better. There's our project. We can see all of our tracks and we're good to go. So we'll save out of that one and jump on back in. So what now? So we're collaborating here. What do we do now? Well, there's a couple of ways that I start working on something, because really what I'm looking to do here is to write a guitar part, maybe, and do a vocal part. So I'm looking for melodies, because David's done a lot of the heavy lifting with this track, so we need to start looking for those melodies. So the first thing that I'll generally do is grab a guitar, which is not plugged in, which is not well executed. That was not good organisation, Johns. So we'll plug in my guitar and we'll load up a guitar track and we'll play along just to get a feel for the song, to get a feel for the timing, and to just see how this is all going to come down. So let's open a new track. We'll hit the plus button here. We're going to go to an instrument. I'm just going to use the nice room. That's the default one. We'll put this, my audio interface, to channel 2. I'm using my Steinberg UR22C, the standard audio interface I use for everything. You can see there that the guitar's working. We'll turn the monitoring on. It's coming through as well. Turn the volume up so that we can hear. I think it's in like I think it starts in like a C minor. So what I generally do here is just noodle over the top of this and just see where it takes me. What are some ideas? What are some melody ideas on this track? So let's do that. You're going to hear the whole song. I'm going to hit record and I'm just going to play some guitar in over the top and see what strikes. I do love that chord progression. It's not a chord progression. Just going to pause there for a sec. I just need to turn my volume up here because you're going to get a little bit of foldback and feedback here. I apologise, but I need to hear it a little bit louder for my... So what I really love here is... That's a bit too loud. that when you're doing a collaboration with someone else, like David's using a chord progression here that I probably wouldn't ever use. So if we listen to this part here, let's just listen to this through and just sort of work through the chords. So it starts on a C minor, and then goes up to a C sharp major, down to a B flat, then up again, back to a C natural, back to a B flat, down to an A flat. So yeah, and then down to a G. So it's using like a really interesting chord progression. So let's see if we can, I'm just going to duplicate this one, and I'm going to play, because when it kicks in here, this is where I think we need to start workshopping a melody, because that intro, we might play some sort of lead parts over that, but then I think it jumps in. This is where the vocals will come. So let's sort of start writing some melody lines on this sound. So I reckon we get something like this. All right. See, that chord is always going to catch me until I get used to this, because it's not the chord I would play, but it actually makes it different, doesn't it? 1, 2, 3, 4. See how it goes? Isn't it cool? Yeah, it's got a really nice structure, doesn't it? Like, yeah, very inspiring kind of sound, like very dramatic. So I think that's where we need like some real, like that's why in that part there, like in what I feel is the chorus, where it comes into here. Along those sort of lines. So that really interesting, like, when it goes up from that C minor to the C sharp major. So I reckon that's kind of the note that we could hit. Instead of just being down there, bring it up the third on the melody. All right, let's just try doing some variations on that in this next one. We're going to go a bit long here today, by the way, because I'm going to do some vocal noodling in just a jiffy. So we'll just hit the record button again. Such a cool progression. What a cool song. Again, it's great because it's not the sort of song that I would create in terms of the instrumentation, and it's definitely not the sort of chord progression that I regularly use. So I love it. We will continue on with this in future shows. So yeah, if you're enjoying this, we'll continue creating it. I'll probably do some members streams and some Patreon streams to kind of build this out and work it out. Yeah, it's like I can't help but make it sound Latin-y, and I don't know. It's probably not the direction David was going, but it's probably just that I'm playing sort of almost like a flamenco acoustic guitar over the top. But what I'm going to do, just to finish off here, this is what I call the do-do-dos and the da-da-das section. This is where you get to laugh at John's having a crack at something here. So we'll basically attempt to record some vocals for this, but all I'm really looking for here are ideas for the structure of how vocals might sound in this. So we're going to just add a vocal recording. We'll go to the voice and we'll just leave it on the lead vocals, turn our monitor. Won't turn our monitor on because we're going to get some major feedback. So I'm just going to record. Oh, that's because I've got the gain up way too loud. Ba 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 ba. All right, we should be able to safely turn this on. Check. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're good. I'm going to turn this mic off for a sec and just come through on this one. And this is our do-do-dos and da-da-das. It'll start generating some of our vocal ideas and maybe our melody line ideas. So let's record here. Check. Love that gong at the start. So this is where I think maybe like you're gonna like a nice guitar little intro here. I like that. The tension that builds there. And the extra Don't even try. La 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 la. Got la 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 la. Little interlude, maybe a little more guitar there. Then like another verse you kind of bit. Don't even try. And so on and so forth. It's getting it's almost Bowie-like, isn't it, in some of those parts? I reckon with some vocals and with like some vocal layering and some harmonies, it could almost get a David Bowie kind of feel. The other thing is, at the risk of turning this collaboration into more of a collaboration, I'm almost feeling like a female vocal on this as well. I could hear Leela on this, right? Maybe I need to reach out to our own Leela Lou Reality, because I think she could do some real like, whoa. I might even if not, Maybe she could just do some like wailing over some of those sections. So you reckon you can hear that? Like, whoa. I mean, I could do it, but not really my forte. Cool. That is it for this one. We're going to leave it at that. So we're going to save out. So the beauty part of GarageBand. Hey! What do you reckon, Leela? Are you in? Are you in? Can we extend this collab and reach it out there? Yes. See, I knew you're lurking somewhere. Don't you reckon that? Yeah, even just for like a break in that middle section. Yeah, I sound eerily like you. There you go. No one sounds like you. You're a better you. Yes, bonjour. So that's where I'm going to leave this one. But we will be doing more on this in the future. And yeah, if you want to collab, it's actually not that hard, as you can see there. And by the way, if you're wondering, but I wouldn't know how to do it the other way around. Nah, piece of piss. Because all you need to do is say you were the one creating this original one. Well, yeah, all you need to do is solo each one of these. Look, it'll take you a minute or two, but you solo each one and then you go out and save it and then you export it. So all you need to do is come here and then share this and export it as a song file, as an uncompressed wave file, and then literally just save this wave out to wherever you wanted to put it. And each file then becomes a stem, and it's as simple as that. So you just go through step by step, export them out, and throw them over there. We had a couple final comments that we'll go on here now. Mark had a good suggestion here. Found a nice AI image generator, Night Cafe. Now, is this app only, Mark, or is this? I'm just going to search for it here. Is this an app, that Night Cafe, or is it just a web-based one? Let's see. Should we do something? Let's find something. So we'll start creating. Again, we're going into overtime here because why not? Actually, I want to show you an AI app after this because I found a cool AI speech to text thing. Let's start creating fast, free, and fun. Doesn't seem to need me to log in anywhere, which is always good. It'll probably ask for that. We'll create a temporary account for now, and we'll play. If it's cool, I'll sign up. Like all of these, you usually get something for free at least. Welcome to the Night Cafe Studio. Ooh, I like it. So text prompt style. Yeah, this is cool. What should we go for here? So a middle-aged white dude trying desperately to can't spell desperately. I can never spell desperately to record a song, but getting frustrated. Let's just hit create. I'm not going to change anything else. A number of images. Let's do 4. Let's give ourselves options here, and I'll play with it. Here we go. Don't lose your images. You know what? I will. I'll sign in. I normally sign in with my my other Google, not linked to my regular stuff, but my other Google account. I agree to the terms and conditions, and I consent. No, I don't want the marketing emails. Thank you. It's now giving me a whole bunch of things. Good. Keep creating. All right. I think I'm logged in. I think we're good. Credits, total cost, your balance is 1 credit. Okay. Well, I can't do that then. I'll go 1. I've only got 1 credit. So it's a credit system kind of thing. But that's all right. We'll see what it creates for us. Oh, you get 3 extra credits for consenting to emails. I should have done that. Oh, it's going to ask me. It's got a few little, that's actually kind of awesome. That doesn't not look like what I will look like in about 10 years' time. It's even got the right sort of guitar. All right, we have to save that. That's going in the reel. I'm Instagramming that later. Very cool stuff. Hello, Aaron. Hope you are doing well. We were supposed to be finishing off, but I'm having too much fun just playing around with things here at the moment. I wanted to show you one thing. I wanted to show you something cool. And that is, I've been playing around with Pi AI, which is an app. It's available on your app store, on your iPhone or your iPad. I think it's on Android as well, if you're an Androidian. But it's cool. I know the quality of that is fabulous, isn't it? I like it. You've been here before as the MIDI project. Cool. Well, welcome back. Good to have you here. So if you haven't played around with Pi, it's a chat GPT. It's like chat GPT crossed with like a voice assistant, crossed with a web search, because it's not just, it has the large language model stuff, but it also has access to the web and can search things out on the web. And it's got some really good information. And I had to do a vanity search. So I'm gonna do this one and play you my vanity search test run that I did with this yesterday. We're gonna hit the little phone button here. What are some good YouTube channels for resources for creating in GarageBand on your iPhone or iPad? You know I had to do it.
Absolutely. If you're looking for resources on GarageBand for iPhone or iPad, there are plenty of great options out there. One of the best places to start is the official GarageBand user guide for iPhone, which covers everything you need to know about using the app to play, record, and share music. You can also find helpful tutorials and tips from other users on forums like Reddit, or check out websites like the GarageBand Guide for beginner-friendly tutorials. The key is to just dive in and start exploring the app, experimenting with different instruments and recording techniques to get a feel for how it works. Before you know it, you'll be creating your own music with ease.
What about some YouTube channel? Oh, microphone. What about some YouTube channels that might help me? Oh, Ace AI. I haven't tried that. Why is it not working? Hey, what about some YouTube channels that might help? It doesn't like it because I got the microphone plugged in here. I'm just going to come out of there for a sec. Yeah, great demo here, Johns. What are some YouTube channels that can help me create music on my iPhone?
Absolutely. There are a ton of great YouTube channels out there that can help you learn how to create music using GarageBand on your iPhone. Here are a few to check out, like the GarageBand Guide. This channel is run by a musician and educator who offers beginner-friendly tutorials on how to use GarageBand for iPhone and iPad.
Nice.
Studio, live, today. As we discussed earlier, Pete Johns' channel offers a variety of resources on home music production, including tutorials on using GarageBand for iOS. Music Tech Help Guy.
Oh, yeah.
This channel has a variety of tutorials on using GarageBand for iPhone, covering everything from basic recording techniques to more advanced features like using loops and effects. These channels can help you get started with GarageBand on your iPhone and take your music.
Yeah. Look, I do like the idea of voice generators because, and the cool thing about this one, as you probably heard there, is it's actually got some decent voice synthesis, and you can actually change the voices around. There's 8 different choices. I choose voice 5 because she does sound like a sarcastic Brit, and I kind of love listening to sarcastic Brits.
Hey there, great to meet you. I'm Pi, your personal AI.
Which is okay.
Hey there, great to meet you. I'm Pi.
Anyway, there's some really annoying ones. I think this is one of the annoying ones. It's taking too long. What about this one?
Hey there. Great to meet you. I'm Pi, your personal AI.
There you go. All right. So that's my fun thing that I found that you might want to check out. But yeah, I asked it some really weird and wacky things, like my gas lift chair is broken, and I said, "What are some tips for fixing my gas lift chair?" And it actually gave me some really good ideas, including just getting a bit of pipe. If you don't need to ever put it down, and your gas lift's broken, and you don't want to buy a new whole new chair, get a piece of pipe and just wrap it around like the length of it, and it'll kind of prop it up. I'm like, there you go. All right. We've got some Phil Collins Genesis stuff going on. Hello, Tremor Bear. So what is the Ace AI vocal generator? I'm gonna see. Let's look that one up while we're looking up cool AI things. I don't know. I'm not an AI guy. Ace AI. What is Ace? Ace AI Studio. Tell you what though, the amount of things I'm signing up for at the moment. Oh, that doesn't look disconcerting at all. I'm not already terrified. Where are you taking me here, Aaron? Oh, man. It's got a contact button. It's probably like too professional for me. Looks good. They've got a nice website. Yeah, I will. I'll take it on notice. I'll jump in and get that. Yeah, I can dance, I can talk, only thing about me, etc., etc. All right, that'll do it. I know. I said that 15 minutes ago, but I am going to finish off here. Shout out to my supporters. Thank you for being members of the channel. Those of you who are members, thank you for being supporters on Patreon. We've got Patreon live tomorrow. So around about this time tomorrow for patrons, we'll be doing a Patreon live, and I look forward to chatting to the Patreon crew then. We'll be talking about what's happened over the last month, what's coming up this month, how everything's going. Bottom line, going pretty good. Yeah, everything's cool. Everything's cool and everything's schmoo. And you'll notice that I'm doing a few different things and I'm trying about some new things as well. So I am out and about again today and tomorrow as well. So you may see me pop up from time to time at various places online. So keep your eye out for that. We have all the usual shows coming next week. But for the general feed, we're back to the 5-minute tips kicking back off tomorrow. So we'll be looking at tomorrow. We've got FX sounds. So some of the cool FX instrument sounds in GarageBand. And then, as I said, we're starting to move into some of the fun stuff, guitar recording and vocal recording and mixing and all that sort of jazz. So that should be fun for all. Thank you to David for allowing me to use this song in this demo here. I hope you got some value out of it and saw just how simple it is to collaborate with people. It doesn't have to be hard. Don't let the technology get in the way of things. That is going to do it. I will see you next time. Please be kind to yourself, be kind to others, keep creating, and I'll see you next time right here on GarageBand Weekly. Bye for now.